All right. So how do we create a learning activity for your own course that you already have? So you don't need to develop a new program. You go here, courses, import. From there, you basically you're going to be importing your course, and our tool is going to be extracting the learning objective so you can move on from there. Let's say you could import that into a program if you've started one already for this purpose. But in this case, I'm going to say my marketing course and importing my course plan. So just something to remember for me to know what it is. Import course plan. From there, all you do is you're drag and dropping, or you can use your own um, file manager. So right now, I'm just going to be importing a course plan I just created myself and then importing it. So this is a marketing course for which I've created a course plan just with ChatGPT. Good for this kind of things. But it could be one, it could be a multiple number of course plans. And we're giving it a bit of time. There we go. So one file, and this is the course plan. So this is the course, but that's exactly the title and the number that I had in the course plan. And these are the learning objectives. There was 5 of them. So it's all about introduction to management in the workplace. Let's pick one that would be interesting for role play, experiential assessment. I think this one would be pretty good. 1.3, demonstrate conflict resolution techniques through role play. Or we could use any of the other ones, but this one, of course, start activity builder. So you've got your own course that you've imported, but you still need to generate a rubric. And the rubric is really key here. Our format has been adapted for online evaluations. It's really efficient. Once again, you have the yellow button. That's the first place to start. Generate criteria. Decide how many criteria you want. 3 is good. And usually I always try to start with 3, and then I see if it covers what I need. Because as an expert, let's say I'm the expert in conflict resolution, I might have specific things I want to cover. But first of all, I would read that, effectively identify the root cause of the conflict, demonstrate appropriate conflict resolution techniques, communicate clearly and professionally. So these are pretty good, and they've been generated through our tool from your course plans. Now you could add a criteria, or you could remove some, you could change a weighting factor. Let's say I'm happy with that. So, or you could change things, or you could, um, in the workplace, as an expert, maybe for me that's important. Maybe I want to add a criteria for a checklist and include that checklist later on. But for now, I'm happy with that. So I hit save. And then you see the blue button is basically telling me what next action should be. This one is next. From there, it's going to be generating descriptors. Descriptors are how the students should demonstrate that he masters a criteria. So for effectively identifies the root cause of the conflict during the role play, the descriptors accurately pinpoints the main issue and identify underlying factors. Well, that's pretty good. So let's say I'm happy with that. I just go next, the blue button. Now it's generating the rubric, which is a table format that you see a lot of time in the course plan. So you could take this and basically copy and paste it into your LMS, for example, or your course plan in document. And you see here, for the 4 levels that we have, it basically took the descriptors and applied various qualifiers to the different levels. For emerging, so you're enabled to accurately pinpoint the main issues. Developing, you show some ability. Proficient, you're able to accurately pinpoint. Exemplary, you consistently and accurately pinpoint. So that's how the grids are done. And this is in perfect alignment with the competency-based education approach that companies like CBAN and others propose. Now let's get to the fun part, and you could go activities and then generate a new activities. Of course, for this one, the role play would be fun. And then this part here gives you idea of what you could say. So scenario could be, and you have to, that's where you think about the learning objective. And if you have particular desires, for example, let's say the scenario, all I want to say, it's a, this is, whoops, um, with within a coffee shop, employees discuss work schedules for coming holidays. So you can set the scenario, you can decide if the personalities of the different people. But for now, let's say I'm happy with that. The AI engine will propose specific things for this. So there we are. This is the role play for holiday schedule conflict resolution role play. It's a summative. Note that if it was formative, that means you could have had a coach helping the student as he learns. So this is basically the description of the role play, but this is like the map that our role play engine will be using. This is the map readable by a human. There's a lot of other data that get passed um, under the hood, if you will, or within the application. So it um, summarizes the competency that's being evaluated, the learning objective, and then the evaluation criteria, which we just did. You know, I added workplace. Student is going to be Alex Johnson, is a shift supervisor at a busy coffee shop. With the holiday season approaching, Alex is responsible for coordinating the work schedule of the employees. And then we have Jamie and Taylor. Jamie's assertive, experienced barista, where Taylor is new employee, eager to work extra hours for additional income. Now, if you think something like that doesn't suit you or you want to add more things, you can go edit, and there you go. So for example, Alex Johnson, you could add specific things in there. Oh, sorry, the Taylor, new employee, eager to work extra hours for additional income, um, has a lot of experience with lattes. So you can add things. This one, I don't think it's necessarily critical for the role play, but it's just an example. Um, you could say that the scenario happens in a remote area, or in a big city. It's up to you. So we hit save. Now it's been added in. Now the next part to actually get the full advantage of it, and as a developer, as a faculty or a program developer, you would of course want to try the role play before assigning it to your student. So that's where you go. Whoops, you would start the role play. Make this a bit bigger. So while this happens, what's happening? Well, our AI engine is and database are setting up the data structure, the infrastructure, so that the role play is accurate and so that it can lead to an evaluation that's totally aligned with the learning objective and the criteria. So start with, it summarizes the learning objective. As the student, he should know, he's being reminded of the evaluation criteria, a bit about the scenario setting, and a goal. Goals to conduct professional balanced discussion, uncover the root cause of the conflict. And there you go. So Jamie starts, Alex, I've been working here for 3 years. And I always get the holiday off to spend. I hope this year will be no different. So we remember that Jamie was defined as a assertive and experienced barista. So you see it in full view. So I'll pause the um, recording while I actually play out this, and then you'll be able to see the evaluation we get out of it. So as a reminder, let's see what my criteria. I can go here and view that finding a root cause and then a conflict resolution technique. And here's the evaluation. So about after about 7 exchanges, usually the role play will end, or sooner if it's able to assert that um, it can evaluate you on the criteria. So in this score, in this case, it takes each of the criteria with the weighting factor and gives me a score and gives me feedback. Basically 60 for developing, 60% for identifying the root cause, and then 60 for conflict resolution technique, and 85 for clear and professional communication. So I'm still at 66, which is developing, which is a pass, but it gives me suggestion for improvement. So these are really useful for students. So not only do you get assessed, but you get some suggestion for improvement. First one is take time to delve deeper into emotional or circumstantial factors. For conflict resolution, um, it's just how to frame it. For communication, I did good at 85%. And that's about it. So from there, that was your evaluation. So as you can see, we've been able to take your course plan, generate a rubric, and create a role play. Now, from this role play, you can always click here on the conversation. Shows all the conversation that you've had. If you click on the three dots, you can go back to the activity builder and have a look at the rubric. That's about it for now. Thank you for using Competency Weaver. Have fun playing your role plays. And by the way, you can also use the other modalities, which is interview questions, role plays, or others could be to develop a guide or any teaching material or reference material.